front curb appeal looking fabulous, but you've got a shoestring budget, we've got you covered. I'm going to share today 8 quick hacks that we employ all the time for our sellers to make sure that that curb appeal is dialed in without breaking the bank. Everything I'm going to share today, all in, is probably less than $1,000, and if you do it yourself, can be way under that. So let's get started. The first thing is, let's look at that landscaping. Look at where we can fill in with bark. Run to your closest home improvement store and grab some bags of bark. Now you're gonna want natural type of bark, like mini or smaller chunks, not those huge chunks. You want a naturalized color. You don't want it to stand out, but you want it to just look finished and clean. While you're at it, when you're looking at that bark, you're gonna wanna take a look at your grass. So my second tip is to have freshly cut, trimmed grass. And while you're at it, take a look at those bushes and see if they need trimming. If your house is obscured by bushes or trees, that is something that you're gonna wanna trim down so that you can get a great front of house picture, because pictures sell houses. Tip number 3 is so simple. We want to get a really colorful doormat. Again, while you're out getting the bark, pick up a really colorful, clean, new doormat at your home improvement store. It's amazing how just that pop of color makes a world of difference, and I would do it, again, right before you list the home, and then those buyers can walk across it and notice that when they're looking down and taking their shoes off, which they always do in our listings, and walking across that threshold. Number 4, we're gonna talk about sparkling windows. The thing with sparkling windows is they've gotta be sparkling. A lot of times we'll have home sellers say that they wanna do it themselves, which is great, but you've gotta do it the right way. Sometimes those windows get cleaned and they look worse than the first time. But what we do as a concierge service is a lot of times we will coordinate the window washer, but you want those exterior windows just absolutely sparkling right before pictures, right before you go live. It's going to make the house really just look all the more fresher. Number 5 that I would say is we're gonna take that mailbox and we're gonna take a look at it. A lot of times we see them that are tilting, maybe they've been hit, just seen their better days. If they're out by the curb especially, we're gonna take that and we're gonna either do it ourselves or grab a handyman and put on a fresh new mailbox. If you've got a mailbox by the door, we're gonna check that to see if it looks nice and clean and sparkling. The next tip that is so simple but so important is to make sure that your house numbers are fresh looking very current, and are replaced if necessary. A lot of times we'll drive to a house and the address numbers will be kind of rusted out, faded, worse yet, one of the numbers is missing. Not only does that make it dangerous for an emergency situation, but it also makes it hard for a buyer to drive by the house and like it and be able to snap a picture of the house so they remember that house number and can ask their realtor later. The next tip that I have is let's get the front door repainted. I know it's not always possible given the time of the year, but when possible, let's go ahead and get a fresh coat of paint that just really pops with the color of the house. And if you have the budget, you could look into replacing the door hardware, which can make a huge difference, again, on that first impression. The last tip I have is so simple. You can get a beautiful potted flowers and have it right near the front door. Just that little pop of color makes it a huge difference, but make sure it looks current, looks fresh, and have that in place right before the photographer shows up. Have I mentioned photographer enough on this video? That's a whole nother video subject, and that's the importance of truly professional photography for your listing. That's worth more than anything. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching along on our tips today. If you like this content and want more seller specific content and tips and tricks, please like and subscribe to our video and reach out to our team anytime at 208-608-4884. We'll see you next time.